Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. Today we're talking about Carabao Cup final. Newcastle 2, Liverpool 1. They just snuck a goal in the last couple minutes. This game for me wasn't close at all today, so we're going to break down a couple things. What's going wrong at Liverpool? Well, what's happening? What's going on? Now, first of all, hopefully you guys are all having a good weekend. It's been nice and cloudy, foggy, all that stuff. So hopefully you guys are having a good weekend. Second thing I want to say, congratulations. If you guys support Newcastle, if any of you like this team, good job. This has been a project they've been working on. They really invested a lot of money into this team in the last couple of years, and they finally get themselves a trophy. Congratulations. A trophy. A lot of people will tell you it's not easy to win. It's not easy to win. You could spend. It doesn't always work out. A lot of clubs, we're not subtweeting, but I'm saying, So congratulations, especially to win it over Liverpool. And Newcastle had to beat a lot of teams that were tough to beat on their way here. So Newcastle's always that team for me this season, especially. They can just play with anyone when they want to, And man, do we even need to start with Isak? What a player, man. What a player. I think, though, he pulled his hamstring or something because he had some run at the end where I thought he was going to cook Robertson, and then he just, pulled up short. So, I don't know. Maybe he got injured. I have no idea. Anyways, I'm not here to talk too much about Newcastle. Look, Newcastle deserves this game today. For me, it's not even close. Newcastle was way better. So, congratulations, Newcastle. You guys just execute the game plan. Boom. We're talking about Liverpool today, and what the hell is going on with Liverpool? I'm seeing people on Twitter now saying that Liverpool is going to choke the lead right now with 8 games left and a 12-point lead. I personally don't see that. Everton is a tough one. Fulham just beat Spurs today by 2. West Ham, Leicester, then they'll see Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal. For Liverpool, what they need to make sure they do is don't make the gap closer than it needs to be. Keep this gap around 10 points going into that Arsenal game or any of the other teams that are kind of playing them close. The remaining schedule of the teams they play in terms of real teams that could, give them a problem. I mean, 50% of these games they should be winning. They will not choke the league, guys. We're not going this far with saying Liverpool is going to win the league all season and now they choke the lead. But look, not the lead. Well, yeah, the lead. Anyways, but look, for me personally, there's 2 situations to talk about with this Liverpool team today, okay? A lot of people are like, what the hell is going on? Because we watched this game today, and for me, it's the same old, and I've seen this in the last couple Liverpool games. These really slow starts. They look like they don't care. I mean, it was a final today. So the only thing I can think about is that these guys are just exhausted. They're just exhausted. And, we watched the PSG. You guys watched it. I watched it. We all talked about it. They didn't look great, right? Especially in the attack. The attack for Liverpool has taken a massive, massive backseat to what it was even just a few months ago. Yeah, you could say they got lucky. But look, obviously, who does the attack start with? It's been Mo Salah, guys. And for me, we made a video a couple weeks ago that Mo Salah can break every Prem record. He's having this hell of a season. But unfortunately, I'm just going to say this because some people like to protect him and they won't like this. I stood by him. But unfortunately, when you're a superstar, okay, and your team needs you, we look at this Liverpool team. Who are your best players? VVD and Salah. Those are your best 2 players, okay? You need those guys. This is not a team where you have 7 to 11 decorated, amazing, players with 2 superstars. You have some good players. You have some okay players. And you have, for me, 2 or 3 real great players in this team. Maybe 4, okay? So when you are pretty much, for me, in the attack, you look at Liverpool's attack, he's the only real great attacker, right? He needs to be on his game. He's been the reason they've got to where they are this season in all these positions to play in a final, to be leading the league by 12 points. He goes missing today. He goes missing Guys, I don't know what Nuno Mensch did to this guy, but Salah just looks cooked. He looks like, we're talking FIFA terms, he's lost 25 pace in the last week. He looks like one of those players that, you start the first day of the video game and you got a bronze player or silver player out wide, but he's got 67 pace. I don't know what's happened to bro, man. He doesn't look dangerous at all. The best he can do right now is win a corner. So look, I'll take the perspective that, hey, maybe bro is tired. Guys, we hold these players to incredible standards, right? Incredible. They play tons of games. I know people say, oh, win. They play tons of games. They get paid a ton of money. It's not easy when your body hurts, regardless of the money, regardless of all that stuff. So maybe that's it, right? That could be it. But look, for me personally, it's disappointing because I thought this season for Salah was different. All these seasons, Salah has had these crazy seasons. You look at the end of the season, right? And everyone puts Salah as this Premier League great, which he is, right? But what people forget about, because they just look at the stats, is that most seasons, Salah is literally there for the Ballon d'Or. And I don't know if it's a mental thing. Something just happens to bro. And, we've seen some seasons where Salah goes on a run of I don't want to say the games to mess it up because I don't want to get the stat wrong. But I swear, there's been some seasons he'll go like 10, 15 games and he can't get a goal. Like, he can't even get a goal. And he was going from scoring 1-2 a game. So for me, ultimately, with Salah, it's disappointing because I think this is the week that Salah lost his Ballon d'Or. I don't think he's going to win the Ballon d'Or. I just don't see it happening. Liverpool will win the league. We're backing them. I'm sticking by it. They're not going to choke it. All right. They lost to a great Newcastle team. They lost to a great PSG team. Both these teams are good. But Liverpool, they're the number one in the Prem. You expect them to go give more of a fight. Ultimately, like, for me, it just was like so lethargic for them today. A lot of the players walking around, they don't really care. It just didn't look great today. It didn't look great. It took Chiesa coming in the 94th minute. I mean, guys, 2-1. If you watch this game today, dude, Newcastle like probably could have scored like 8 goals. I kept thinking of myself when I play FIFA saying sold from my couch because they were open so many times. And the shot went just a little wide. They didn't make the extra pass. Newcastle ultimately was sloppy today. I don't know what was going on in Liverpool defense, bro. It was wide open. Like, that's what I'm saying. I just feel like Liverpool look exhausted. They've got to that point in the season, and maybe this team is just not as deep as we thought it was. Maybe these guys there needs to be more of that. I don't know, but something is lacking. This is a really, I know the Liverpool fans are going to get defensive and say, look, where's your Prem title? Like, you want, and this is in thought to the other fans that are going to chirp them now and say all this stuff because they're still going to win the league, which is a big deal. In terms of my rankings, right? We put the internationals up there, the Euro, the Copa America, the World Cup, obviously the number one. Then for me, in terms of the club, Champions League is the most important. For me, I think the Champions League is the toughest one to win. People will have their differences because, the people will argue for the league and how tough it is and over the whole season. I just think that is definitely the number 2 for me. So the league is 2, Champions League is 1. Then all these other trophies are there. My thing for Liverpool is like in the span of a week, you had all these things to play for. You're not going to win them now. So you're really just stuck with winning the league. And for me, it's just been an absolute disaster class. I feel like Salah is starting to do what he does every season. And he's just, whether he's running out of, energy, whatever it is, he's not contributing. And look, to the benefit of Salah, this is probably the worst Liverpool attack or one of the worst that Salah has played in. Salah, for me, has always been such a beneficiary of the system in Liverpool, the way they play, and just the players around him, man. It's not working up there. It's not working. It's not great. Diaz has not been great at all. He had a good spurt this season, but in the beginning, but he's not been great since then. Jota and Szoboszlai will give you a game here and then, but just the overall play, I feel like Gravenberch has been looking really sloppy in the last couple. Same with McAllister. They just have really taken a step backwards. And, for me, it sucks for Salah because Salah is one of those players that over all these seasons, he's just been in the conversation. This was probably one of his strongest campaigns, if not the one that he broke the record. That was probably like 2018, 2019, whatever year that was. It sucks because I don't think this season when we look at it, regardless of how Salah does, like, his best chance now is he's going to have to light it up in the league. He scored 2 penalties last weekend, so maybe he can. He's still got a chance for these records, but he's going to have to really, the only chance I can see for Salah now is that he breaks the record of like the goals in the season, the assists, and, obviously that would be the combo one too. So all 3 records. Then you could look at it and be like, okay, like, yeah, they got knocked out in the 16. Yeah, they didn't win this final, but maybe we should still respect it, right? That would be good. But we're starting to look at this situation now where for me, it's just disappointing for Salah because look, I want Salah to finally get his recognition, but when the moment gets so bright, he's not there like you need him. And that's a big deal. I mean, Liverpool really rely on this dude, to take them home. He gets them there. But, ultimately for me, Salah is going to be a player that just does not shine well in these big games, man. I know that we've seen a recent one where, Vinny and Mbappe didn't play well in the first leg and then only Mbappe showed up. And I know it happens, but for me to see, Nuno Mensch take him out of both legs, like with Salah, like it might as well not played. And we're going on Twitter today and I'm seeing people talk about, did Salah play today? Look, Salah apparently, I think this is true. He's never scored from open play in any final for 12 games. I mean, this is UCL final. This is all this stuff. So I don't know about the whole, like, I don't think the serial loser thing is fair at the bottom because, like, I'm not one to want to rip on everyone on the internet because, like, this dude has definitely won, more than a lot of other players have. But look, man, like in terms of how it's looking, not only is Liverpool gonna be, I think the Liverpool fans will still be happy for the season they've had. Um, it's not one of the best Liverpool teams ever, and for them to win the Prem, I mean, it's great. It's great. I think a lot of the mid-table Prem teams have been a lot better this season too. So to go and win it on this type of season, it's harder. It's a hard year to win the Prem. But outside of that, ultimately Liverpool misses out on some trophies. And dude, I think these rankings, I mean, regardless, I think Salah's gonna really have to go crazy the next couple of weeks because we're looking at situations upcoming. There's some serious chance for Mbappe. If you guys seen the Madrid game yesterday, I mean, Mbappe's starting to get really hot. And we know Mbappe in big games, not all the big games, but he does like to show up here and then. World Cup final, right? So as Madrid maybe make a run, and if this is a situation where me personally, if we have a Madrid or a Barca team in the Champions League final and one of those teams wins, there's so many players in the Barcelona camp that are in that top 10 conversation, especially with the way Rafinha's playing. And Rafinha is going to potentially break like Ronaldo's UCL record this year. Like he could do it. There's just so many other players playing great that I feel like ultimately this week Salah just like completely lost it. I mean, he's gonna have to, as I said, he's gonna have to go crazy. But for me, it's just disappointing. I mean, he's got 0 XG today. I don't know if I pointed anything else out. I'm not sure what the video is down below. That's wild. And yeah, man. I mean, ultimately, guys, I think Newcastle really deserved this result today. Liverpool's got their work cut out for them, guys, because they've got Everton midweek. So for a team that already looks really tired today, they've got a game in like 3 days. And they've got Fulham, and Fulham just took care of guys. Listen, Fulham just took care of Spurs today. I think Everton are never an easy game. I mean, 13 draws in a season, only 36 goals against. It's not going to be easy, man. So Liverpool really needs to kind of try to turn this around right now because obviously you go into that locker room right now, guys. The energy is definitely not great. The energy is not great. Even that Southampton game, how they got it done with the penalties, it was a little. And even you go back to that PSG first leg, it was a miracle they got that done. And I feel like right now we're starting to see these guys sink off a little, so they need to have a good rebound. I'm sure they'll do it. You guys know how I feel about Liverpool. I think they will do it, but ultimately for me, it's very disappointing for the Liverpool fans today. Newcastle deserve it by all means, guys. I was gonna do a video today on for me. Is it crazy that I think the biggest game today is the Atletico Madrid Barca? Maybe it's not so crazy. For me, that's the biggest game today. The problem is it's a lot later, and I'm just gonna be on my couch, so I'm not gonna be reacting. I'm not gonna be working later today. But if that game turns out to be crazy, I will be watching it. I'll be tweeting about it if it's crazy, and we'll probably have a video tomorrow if the game ends up being crazy. If the game doesn't end up being crazy, wait, we don't have international this week, right? No, we do. Okay, guys, this Thursday. Sorry, I made a mistake. Hold on. No. This is the international break. Sorry, I thought we had one more week until international break. No. This is after the break. So Liverpool, they'll go to the international break. Look, actually, let's just add this point now. That's actually good for Liverpool. They need to go clear their heads a little bit. And this is always, these international breaks are always really good for teams that are like starting to turn form a little, regain. I mean, I know they could get injuries and it could get worse, but I always think that it sucks for the teams that are playing really well. Like you always start the season, you got 3-4 games, they go right into international, teams playing well, and then they come back and they get injured, they're not playing as well. So, we're going to do a video either tomorrow or Tuesday, depending, because we've got some incredible Nation League quarterfinals happening, and there's 2 legs. The other leg is going to be Sunday. We've got some crazy games. We're going to make some predictions, do stuff like that, have some fun with it. So, yeah, we'll tune in then. Maybe a video tomorrow, I'll let you guys know. And thank you guys for clicking on another one. I appreciate you guys. Peace.